Most people over 60 do not wake up tired because they are lazy or simply getting old. Often, the first hour of the day quietly sends the body in the wrong direction. A dark room, another round with the snooze button, no water, no movement, and a breakfast that gives quick sweetness but little lasting fuel can leave you feeling flat before the day has properly begun. The encouraging part is that none of these habits requires an expensive supplement or a punishing routine. Today, we are going to look at 5 common morning habits that may drain energy after 60, why they matter, and how to replace them with a gentler routine that supports alertness, steadier energy, mobility, and confidence. The final habit is the one many people think is helping them most, yet it can create the biggest mid-morning slump. Before we begin, one important point. Tiredness is not always caused by lifestyle. Ongoing fatigue can be linked with poor sleep, anemia, thyroid problems, diabetes, depression, sleep apnea, heart or lung conditions, infection, pain, or medication side effects. If your tiredness is new, severe, getting worse, or lasting for weeks, please speak with a health professional rather than trying to push through it. Before counting the habits, separate 2 feelings that are often confused. Sleepiness is the sense that you could doze off. Fatigue is a lack of physical or mental energy, even when you may not be able to sleep. A person can have one or both. This matters because the solutions can differ. Heavy daytime sleepiness, loud snoring, waking with headaches, or reports that your breathing stops during sleep can point toward sleep apnea and should be assessed. Fatigue with low mood, loss of interest, unusual coldness, paleness, or changes in weight may need a different evaluation. Morning routines can support health, but they should never be used to hide a warning sign. The first habit is waking at a very different time from one day to the next, then repeatedly pressing the snooze button. After 60, sleep may become lighter and more easily interrupted. Many of us wake during the night, rise earlier than we used to, or feel that one more short sleep will give us the energy we need. The problem is that repeated snoozing can turn the end of the night into a series of broken fragments. You fall back into sleep, the alarm interrupts you again, and instead of beginning the day clearly, you may wake feeling heavy and confused. Your body runs on a daily timing system called the circadian rhythm. Think of it as an internal conductor helping sleep, alertness, appetite, temperature, and many other functions keep time together. A fairly regular wake time gives that conductor a dependable morning signal. When wake time moves by several hours from one day to another, the body receives mixed instructions. This does not mean you must leap out of bed at 5 in the morning. It means choosing a wake time that fits your life and keeping it reasonably consistent. If you had a poor night, an occasional extra rest may be sensible. But if you depend on the snooze button every morning, ask a deeper question. Are you going to bed too late? Are pain, frequent urination, snoring, breathing pauses, restless legs, worry, or medication effects disturbing your sleep? Here is a practical change. Put the alarm far enough away that you must sit up to reach it, but not so far that it creates a fall risk. Sit on the edge of the bed for a moment, move your ankles, take 3 slow breaths, and stand only when you feel steady. If you become dizzy when rising, pause and use support. Repeated morning dizziness deserves discussion with your doctor, especially if you take blood pressure medicine or diuretics. Try keeping wake time within the same 1-hour window for 7 days. Do not judge the result after one morning. The aim is to create a reliable pattern. And remember, adults over 60 still generally need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Waking at a regular time cannot make up for consistently going to bed too late. There is another reason to review the night rather than blame the morning. Some sleep medicines, allergy tablets, pain medicines, anxiety medicines, and other prescriptions can leave a person groggy after waking. Never change the dose or timing on your own. Instead, write down when you take each medicine and when the grogginess is strongest. Then ask a doctor or pharmacist whether the schedule or combination could be contributing. A medication review can be especially valuable when several medicines are taken together. Here is a question for you. Do you wake naturally, use one alarm, or press snooze several times? Share your answer in the comments, because many people will recognize themselves in your routine. The second habit is spending the first part of the morning in dim indoor light. Light is one of the strongest signals that tells the brain the day has begun. When morning light reaches the eyes, it helps the body organize its sleep and wake timing. This is not a miracle energy treatment, and it will not correct every sleep problem. But regular morning light can support a clearer difference between daytime alertness and nighttime sleepiness. Many older adults wake before sunrise, Keep curtains closed and move from a dark bedroom into a softly lit kitchen. Others have limited mobility and spend most of the day away from windows. The result can be a weak daytime signal, especially during winter or cloudy weather. Make this practical. Soon after waking, open the curtains and blinds. Sit near a bright window while having breakfast. When weather, balance, vision, and safety allow, spend a little time outdoors in the morning. Even a slow walk to the gate, a few minutes on a balcony, or sitting in a safe garden can combine light with fresh air and gentle movement. Never stare directly at the sun. If you have an eye condition, take medicines that increase light sensitivity or have been advised to avoid bright light. Follow your clinician's instructions. A commercial bright light box is not necessary for everyone, and it can be unsuitable for some eye conditions, bipolar disorder, or certain medications. Ordinary daylight is the simplest place to begin. There is also a useful evening connection. A bright morning works best when evenings become calmer and dimmer. If television, room lighting, and phone screens remain very bright late at night, the body may receive a confusing signal. You do not need to live in darkness. Simply allow daytime to look like daytime, and the hour before bed to look more like evening. The third habit is waiting too long to drink anything. During sleep, you go several hours without fluid. You also lose some water through breathing and normal body processes. That does not mean everyone wakes dangerously dehydrated, but older adults are more vulnerable to dehydration because the sense of thirst can become less reliable. Some medicines increase fluid loss, and illness or hot weather can change fluid needs quickly. Mild dehydration may contribute to dry mouth, headache, dizziness, weakness, darker urine, or difficulty concentrating. But these signs are not specific. They can have other causes, so do not diagnose yourself from one symptom. A simple response is to make fluid visible and easy. Keep a safe cup or bottle where you prepare breakfast. Sip water when you wake, then continue drinking regularly through the day rather than forcing a large amount at once. Water is a good choice, but milk, tea, coffee, soups, and water-rich foods also contribute to fluid intake. Here is the important catch. More fluid is not always better. People with heart failure, advanced kidney disease, low blood sodium, or certain liver conditions may be given a fluid limit. Some people also need to manage morning fluids because of bladder problems. If you have been told to restrict fluids, follow that plan. Do not copy a general internet target. Also, do not add salt or electrolyte powders to morning water as a routine unless a qualified professional has advised it. Most people get enough sodium from food, and extra sodium may be unhelpful for blood pressure or heart conditions. Electrolyte products can also contain sugar or potassium that may not suit everyone. An easy check is not to chase perfectly clear urine all day. Pale yellow urine often suggests reasonable hydration, but medicines, vitamins, and health conditions can change urine color. The better plan is regular intake, attention to thirst, and individualized advice when you have medical restrictions. Now notice how the first three habits work together. A steady wake time tells the body when the day begins. Morning light strengthens that signal. Sensible hydration supports normal function. None is dramatic, but together they create a better launch than another alarm, a dark room, and no fluid until lunchtime. The fourth habit is staying seated and waiting to feel energetic before moving. This is a common trap. When the body feels stiff or tired, movement seems like something to postpone until energy returns. Yet long periods of sitting can make joints feel stiffer, muscles less ready, and the first steps of the day more difficult. Gentle activity does not create instant energy for everyone, but it can increase circulation, warm the muscles, improve confidence, and help the brain shift into daytime mode. The key word is gentle. You do not need a hard workout before breakfast. Begin with what your body can safely do. While seated, circle the ankles, straighten one knee at a time, roll the shoulders, and open and close the hands. Then stand with a sturdy chair or counter nearby. March slowly in place, perform a few comfortable heel raises, or walk through the home for 2 to 5 minutes. If you are already active, a short morning walk may be ideal. If you use a walker, follow the movement plan given by your physical therapist. If balance is poor, seated movement is still movement. The goal is not to prove anything. The goal is to wake the body without creating pain, breathlessness, or fear. Use the talk test. During light activity, you should still be able to speak comfortably. Stop and seek urgent help if movement brings chest pressure, severe shortness of breath, fainting, sudden weakness, or new pain spreading to the arm, back, neck, or jaw. Over time, older adults benefit from a mix of aerobic activity, muscle strengthening, and balance work. But morning movement is simply the first small vote for an active day. 2 minutes can become 5. 5 can become a short walk after breakfast. Consistency matters more than intensity. If clear practical guidance for life after 60 is useful to you, subscribe to Herbi Diet so we can keep learning together. Now let us come to the habit that often looks like an energy solution but may leave you hungry, shaky, or sleepy before noon. The fifth habit is building breakfast around quick sugar and refined starch while leaving out protein, fiber, and nourishing foods. Picture a breakfast of sweet tea, a large glass of juice, sugary cereal, pastries, white toast with jam, or biscuits. These foods can feel comforting and give quick energy. But when breakfast is mostly refined carbohydrate and added sugar, it may be digested quickly. For some people, especially those with diabetes or insulin resistance, blood glucose may rise sharply and then fall, contributing to hunger, tiredness, or difficulty concentrating. This does not mean carbohydrates are bad, and it does not mean every person must eat breakfast. Whole grains, fruit, beans, and other carbohydrate foods can be valuable sources of energy and nutrients. The issue is balance. After 60, protein becomes especially important because aging is often accompanied by gradual loss of muscle. A breakfast that includes protein can contribute to daily protein needs, while fiber and minimally processed foods can help make the meal more satisfying. Let us make this affordable and culturally flexible. You might choose eggs with vegetables and whole grain toast, plain yogurt with oats, fruit, and a few nuts, lentils or beans with a small whole grain flatbread, porridge made with milk and topped with seeds, cottage cheese with fruit, leftover fish or chicken with vegetables, peanut butter on whole grain bread, if it suits your health needs and swallowing ability. You do not need a fashionable superfood. You need a combination that works for your appetite, budget, teeth, digestion, culture, and medical plan. A simple pattern is 1 protein food, 1 fiber-rich plant food, and 1 minimally processed source of carbohydrate if desired. For example, compare sweet tea and 2 biscuits with tea plus an egg and a piece of fruit. Or compare sugary cereal alone with plain oatmeal made with milk and topped with berries or chopped nuts. The second option is not magic, but it provides more nutritional support and may help energy feel steadier. Portions matter, particularly for people managing blood glucose, kidney disease, swallowing problems, or unintentional weight loss. Someone with advanced kidney disease may need individual advice about protein, potassium, phosphorus, and fluids. Someone taking diabetes medicine or insulin should not make major changes to meal timing or carbohydrate intake without understanding how the medicine may need to be coordinated. Low blood sugar can be dangerous. Also, do not ignore a poor appetite. If you regularly cannot face food in the morning, are losing weight without trying, or feel full after only a few bites, mention it to your clinician. Dental problems, medication effects, depression, digestive conditions, and other health issues can reduce intake and energy. And what about coffee or tea? For many adults, a moderate amount is enjoyable and can improve alertness. It does not need to be banned. But caffeine should not become a disguise for poor sleep, too little food, or an untreated health problem. Large amounts may cause shakiness, a racing heartbeat, stomach discomfort, anxiety, or later sleep disruption in sensitive people. Sweetened coffee drinks can also turn into a sugar-heavy breakfast without providing much protein or fiber. If caffeine affects your sleep, reduce the amount gradually and keep it earlier in the day, rather than stopping suddenly and creating a withdrawal headache. If you have an abnormal heart rhythm, uncontrolled blood pressure, reflux, or medication concerns, ask your clinician what amount is appropriate. Now let us put all 5 habits into one realistic morning plan. Today, choose one fixed wake time window. When the alarm sounds, sit up safely and avoid beginning another short sleep cycle. Open the curtains and bring daylight into the room. Have a sensible drink unless you have a fluid restriction. Move gently for 2 to 5 minutes. Then, if you eat breakfast, build it around protein, fiber, and foods that give more than a brief sugar rush. This week, pay attention rather than chasing perfection. Write down when you wake, how you slept, what you drank and ate, whether you moved, and how your energy felt at 10 in the morning. A simple pattern may appear. Perhaps the darkest mornings are the hardest. Perhaps a balanced breakfast reduces mid-morning hunger. Perhaps dizziness appears after a medicine. That information is useful to you and to your health professional. The biggest lesson is this: morning energy is rarely hidden in one spoonful, one drink, or one supplement. It is usually built through several ordinary signals working together. Timing tells the brain the day has started. Light supports the body clock. Fluid supports normal function. Movement wakes the muscles. Balanced food provides materials the body can use. And if you do all of these things and still feel exhausted, that is not failure. It is information. Fatigue lasting several weeks, interfering with daily tasks, or appearing with shortness of breath, chest discomfort, fainting, confusion, fever, bleeding, sudden weakness, or unexplained weight loss deserves medical attention. Start with the easiest change, not all 5 at once. Which one will you try tomorrow morning? 1 alarm, brighter light, a drink, 2 minutes of movement, or a more balanced breakfast? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to Herbi Diet for clear, respectful guidance that helps us stay active, independent, and informed after 60. And share this video with someone whose mornings have become harder lately. A useful next topic would be the evening habits that quietly disturb sleep after 60, because tomorrow's energy often begins the night before. This video is for general education. Your needs may be different if you have diabetes, heart or kidney disease, take several medicines, have balance problems, or follow a prescribed diet. Discuss personal changes with your doctor, pharmacist, or registered dietitian. Take care of yourself, and remember that small, steady choices can make the morning feel more manageable.